been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. The Lord said to him, who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes the deaf for the mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and teach you what to say.
Yeah.
At the opening of Exodus 3, prior to Moses' encounter with God in the burning bush on the mountain, we encountered Moses, who was busy tending to his flock of sheep, a literal flock of sheep. He was operating at that time in the assignment that he had been given in that season.
Yeah.
But him tending to that flock of sheep at that time was a foreshadowing of what was to come. Moses' encounter with God up in the mountain happened in the midst of the very work that he was already performing.
Yeah.
Many of us here at Black Church, we're the leaders of the church. We're the preachers, the pastors, and the teachers, and so on and so forth. Already operating within your various assignments. Already on the battlefield for the Lord, fighting the good fight. But on this week, God has called you to a moment of pause.
Woo.
He's called you to a moment of pause. He's called you to a moment on the mountain. On this week, God has positioned you in a place and in a space where he could interrupt the regular scheduled programming of everyday work that you've been doing, the everyday routine, and he has called you onto this mountaintop for such a time as this. God is communicating to someone on this week and on this morning that I know you've been operating on what you've already been assigned to do, and now I'm calling you to do a little bit more. Exodus 3:10 saying, now I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people out of Egypt. People today, even in 2024, are facing all kinds of pharaohs and oppression and suppression and subjection and all of those things that will seek to keep folk in conditions that are less than.
Yeah.
Right now, people are facing all kinds of spiritual Egypts and bondage and chains and slaves to their past and bondage to the wayward decisions and bondage to chains of riotous living and bondage to chains of generational curses and bondage to chains of addiction of all kinds, cycles of recidivism, poverty, living lives that are less than what God would have for them to do, living apart from God. And God is saying right now, I am sending you to speak to Pharaoh. I am sending you into Egypt. Exodus 3:11. But who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the people out of Egypt? And in Exodus 4:10, Moses said, Lord, pardon your servant. I've never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and of tongue. What excuses are you making while God is calling you to do more? My congregation is only but so big. I don't have enough volunteers. It wasn't in the budget. I'm not skilled or gifted enough. I don't measure up a certain way to some of these other preachers and teachers. But surely there is someone else that you can call to do what you're calling me to.
Yeah.
And God is shaking his head at us. And he's saying, oh, you of little faith.
Yeah.
Why do you doubt?
Yeah.
If I've called you to it, I'll see you through it. Some of you may have a decision that you're facing within your congregation right now. Some of you may have ministry concerns or aspirations or things that God has been trying to speak to you about. And you're looking at God and saying, who am I?
Yeah.
God is looking at you, church leaders, preachers, and teachers saying, who gave humans their mouths? And who makes the deaf for the mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord?
Yeah.
He's saying that I am. Trust me at what I am.
Yes.
God is calling us to the pharaohs and the Egypts of the world and tells us that he is a provider. He tells us that he is a sustainer. He tells us that all power is in my hand. He'll supply everything that you need. He'll be your covering. He'll drive back the things that seek to come against you. Yea, though I walk through the valley
Yea,
of the shadow
though.
of death, I will
Yes.
fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort
Yes.
me. Though you're calling me into new territories, though you're calling me to uncharted areas, though you're trying to stretch me, I haven't encountered this particular area yet. My church hasn't done this yet. I haven't tried this yet. But God is saying, I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'll lead you and direct you. I'll guide you and protect you.
Yeah.
Exodus 3:12, I will be with you. And then in Exodus 4:12, it says, now go.
Yeah.
God is saying, you've got everything that you need for what I'm about to do in you and through you and with you.
Yeah.
Through the ministry, through the life of your church. Abide in me and I in you.
Yeah.
God is saying to us, I am the puppet master.
God.
Pulling the strings, and what people see come forth through you is really me behind the scenes working this thing out.
All right.
And God is telling us on this day, on this mountain, on this last day on the mountain, that there's more work to do beyond what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
God is telling us that I'm hearing the cries of my people. I know the needs and the concerns of the folks. I know the hearts of the people. And I need for you to get out of your own way. I need for you to get out of the way of what I'm trying to do through you. Leave whatever excuses or limitations or perceived setbacks and worries and fears on this mountain today.
Yeah.
Go forth knowing that God is going with you. Go forth knowing that he is the one that sent you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My message this morning is very simple, that someone needs to know on this mountain that God has been talking to you. And now it's your turn to listen. And as you listen and as you move forward, God is simply telling you this morning to leave it on the mountain.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah.